Hello folks, I'm Amanda Jarrett. I was your judge for this debate round. So I ended up voting for the proposition, and I do so for a couple of reasons. I guess I should just begin by acknowledging that obviously we're all new to this whole online tournament thing, and there is a lot of potential for malfunctions, errors, etc. And I really am sorry about how this round turned out for you. Both, really, because this could have been a lot more interesting for all of us, more educational, all sorts of things. So, David, I am very sorry, because I do think you were disadvantaged. That said, I do vote for the proposition because I think there were a couple of things you could have done, and I think he successfully proves that there were alternatives that were available to you that you did not take advantage of. I think it's particularly important that there were options like messaging him on either of two systems to ask where the video was. I think he was correct in saying that forfeits are treated differently and that as far as he could tell to the satisfaction of the tournament director, his video had been accepted and that he cured the defect within the time limits. I think to me that's probably the most important factor in terms of assessing fairness. I also think there is an educational impact that Christian is getting ahead on in this debate because he proposed an alternative that you actually have a substantive debate in the second two speeches. And I think you could have at least tried to do that and engaged with the arguments that he read after you heard about them, especially to the extent that you could have potentially found them on YouTube. I understand that this was a disadvantage to you because you had allocated particular time that you wanted to spend on this, but to the extent it still was available to you during the time limit, and he came up with this solution and seeded one of his speeches to equalize whatever damage had already occurred, sounds to me like the punitive approach, as Christian characterizes it, is not the correct one to take in this particular situation because at least he was trying to engage with you and correct for the error, and I think it would have been more profitable for you in your final speech to have offered some kind of substantive response to what Christian offered in his opening speech. It also may have been worthwhile I appreciate that you wanted to go all in on the theoretical and rules violations, but it might have been worthwhile for you to just read some kind of like generic case snag type stuff. I get that you were saying reading nothing equals I vote for the SQUO. I'm not so sure about that. And especially since you're claiming education as one of your impacts, it seems like you should have offered me something that was more like keyed to the topic or to the resolution. So it's pretty much where I come out in this debate. I'm sorry again about how this happened, and I think you'll find for both of you, unfortunately, that speaker points shall reflect this unfortunate turn of events. But I wish you the very best, and I hope that when we do these again, perhaps our paths shall cross again, and maybe we'll all have learned about computers a little bit more. Thanks very much, and I hope you enjoyed the tournament, and keep fighting the good fight for the animals.